Hey guys. Okay, I feel like I'm saying this every video now, but I have not made a video in like forever. Like, yes, I've been posting on YouTube, but I haven't actually made an update vlog in which seems like a few weeks. Also guys, don't mind the hair today. I tried to do some fringe kind of thing, but it's really not working out. I'm just looking like a sweaty ass mess. But anyway, without further ado, here is the latest news that's been happening in the past couple days. Okay, so in my first order of topics, we're going to talk about Louis Tomlinson and his response to the MIR article. So this is a big topic that everybody's been talking about, something that really caught my attention. So Louis went to Twitter and said, "Biggest load of bullshit I've seen in a while. Typical unprovoked venom from the MIR. Couldn't be further from the truth." Now, when I saw this, I was like, wow, Louis is either just really angry or he's just... No, he's probably like really angry. Honestly, I don't mind Louis for being angry or even just a little bit frustrated because this was the headline of the MIR article. Drugs, meltdowns, and gay sex rumors. How rivalry and hatred tore One Direction apart. Now that in itself is just a really strong headline. It's just making a lot of accusations right there. And I understand Louis' frustration because a lot of this isn't even true. So we're gonna start from the way beginning.
Brace yourselves.
So the MIR starts out by saying, on what would have been One Direction's 9-year anniversary, we take a look back at the rows and battles that broke them. Why are they being so dramatic about it and just so negative? Like they're acting like some big scandal broke up the band, but in all reality, they just wanted to go their own ways, explore their own music, and be independent. And yeah, maybe a couple other things caused them to actually do that, but it's not anything like they say it is. It says, but contrary to their bright white smiles and boyish banter, their very different personalities were already beginning to show, laying the foundations for the resentment, jealousy, and anger that would one day cause the group to implode.
Implode?
Why are they using these words? This already sounds like a fan fiction. And also, by the way, One Direction showed their true personalities since they were on the stairs in 2010. So what do you mean their personalities finally decided to show? This says, quote, "We used to be at each other's throats on the X Factor," Louis admitted on their This Is Us DVD of his clashes with Liam. Now, I will admit, I remember Liam and Louis did say that they didn't get along at the start of One Direction, but they're really going far back here. Like, this didn't cause them to break up. It says, "Whenever I wanted to do anything slightly mischievous, he was always the daddy."
The daddy?
They decided to use daddy in this context. It says, "Me and Louis did not get on at all. We were two completely different characters. There was one point where I literally wanted to whack him." Okay, I do not remember Liam saying that, but I can see him saying that, like in a funny way. And then in this part of the article, they start going into Harry and Louis' dynamic and relationship. It says, 2011, Harry and Louis were living as housemates in a rented $3 million North London flat in the same block where Ashley Cole and Cheryl once met. Then suddenly, at the start of 2012, they allegedly stopped talking and moved out. Well, I'm glad they wrote the word allegedly because that means it's not totally confirmed. I remember around that time, Louis and Harry moved out because it was rumored that Harry was with Carolyn Flack, who was like 11 years older than him at the time, so it just didn't add up. But there was no confirmation that they actually moved out at that time, and it's not like they stopped talking to each other. Like, that's just not true. It says, apart from Harry and Louis, no one knows exactly what caused the falling out. They didn't even tell the other boys the full details. I mean, I'm sure the boys probably told the other boys what happened. Like, they're really close, and even if they didn't tell them, I'm sure they would end up finding out somehow. And up here, it says Harry eventually stopped traveling with Louis. I know based on what the cameras show us, we never really see Harry and Louis traveling together anymore, but that doesn't mean that they just stopped traveling with each other. Maybe they traveled together, but it just wasn't shown. Like, I don't know. This article is just making it sound more dramatic than it is. This says, but it was very serious and their friendship has never recovered. Everyone involved in the band is well aware of the animosity between them. I don't know about you guys, but it almost seems like the MIR is proud of this whole thing. Like, it's almost like they're happy that Harry and Louis don't talk to each other and that there's animosity in the band. Like, that's just what it sounds like to me. Like, why are they still talking about it? Like, no one is really asking them to talk about this. And it's just funny because Louis said that this article is basically garbage. So Louis just basically confirmed that all of this is bullshit in this article. It says it's been central to everything else that came next with the band because there was suddenly a massive divide. From that point on, Harry apparently refused to even travel with Louis, and the fallout would become so serious that bosses reportedly had to find a way to make their last 3 albums without the boys having to spend any time together in the studio. Can I just say that they're making this sound like a relationship breakup? Like, no matter what Harry and Louis' status was, the MIR is just making it sound like they had a romantic breakup. No matter what happened in the band, they have to stay professional. I doubt that Harry would just not want to travel with Louis, or Harry doesn't want to be in the studio with Louis. Like, that's just very dramatic. I don't believe any of this. It says, however, Niall dismissed the claims, telling fans not to believe the reports. He says, "We stand strong as a band and we're brothers," he tweeted. Okay, good. So basically everything they said before that is false, because it says Niall dismissed these claims. Well, thank God Niall swooped in and told the truth, because I don't want anyone to believe these things. And then in this part of the article, they go into those gay sex rumors. It says Louis in particular was extremely sensitive about the claims and admitted the speculation about their sexuality created an atmosphere. Now look, I know Louis has had his strong opinions on Larry before, but what does that even mean? Like, Larry created that atmosphere. Like, of course, it creates that romantic atmosphere. Duh, that's what fan fiction is. I feel like in this article, they're not even quoting the boys correctly. They're just putting a bunch of words in. It says Harry and Louis became more distant as a result of the rumors. Okay, I will admit, maybe at a time, the rumors about them being in a relationship, it could have made them feel a little bit weird. So there could have been some distance in the public eye. Like, we saw that as time went on in their interviews, they weren't really sitting next to each other. Part of me was thinking that wasn't even Louis and Harry's choice. I think it was really the people managing them. They were like, okay, we don't want Louis and Harry to sit next to each other, blah, blah, blah. We all know that boy bands are heavily controlled, so I think they were really directed on where to sit. Even if it was Harry and Louis' choice to be a little distant in front of the cameras, that doesn't mean they were distant off camera. Louis says, people can believe what they want, but it comes across as a little bit disrespectful to the ones that I love, like my girlfriend, Eleanor Calder. So yes, this part is not fake. I remember Louis did say something like that in an interview. To me, it kind of just sounds like a script now, like Louis says the same thing. And honestly, guys, I don't want to get too much into this, but most people who are in a relationship, like a real ass relationship, they don't mind being shipped with other people because they know it's fake. They know it's just a fun thing between the fans. Like, there's a lot of celebrities out there who are married and they're shipped with guys or girls, and they just think it's funny. And usually the fans like hardcore ship them, like they don't care. So I don't understand why Louis, who's supposedly in a real relationship with Eleanor, why he feels like it's just so disrespectful and just uncomfortable. I get that it's disrespectful if fans are being rude to Eleanor, then that makes sense. But if fans are just happily shipping Larry and not really involving Eleanor that much, then I don't see the problem. Louis says, I'm so protective over things like that, about the people I love. So it created this atmosphere between the two of us. Zayn told how Harry and Louis have even dialed back their physical friendship in an attempt to stop the rumors. Oh, now they're involving Zayn into this? Like, who else are they gonna involve? I don't get it. First they write that Niall debunked all these rumors, but now it's saying that Zayn came out and said that Louis and Harry are distant because of the rumors. Like, first of all, I thought they said in an article that Zayn never spoke to Harry. Those were apparently Zayn's words. He never spoke to Harry in the band. So why would he even know this if him and Harry didn't talk that much? I don't think Zayn was very involved in that relationship. I mean, for someone who left the band early, I don't know why they're involving Zayn in this. This says, it's not funny and it still continues to be quite hard for them. They won't naturally go put their arm around each other because they're conscious of this thing that's going on, which is not even true. Okay, when did Zayn say this? I know there's a lot of interviews that aren't filmed. There's no audio. It's just written. That means we can't believe it all the way, because if something's just written and it's not filmed or there's no audio, it's very hard to believe. And honestly, guys, for me being a fan of One Direction since 2012, this doesn't sound like something Zayn would say. Zayn keeps to himself. He doesn't really talk to Harry that much, his words. I feel like he would just say, oh, it's not my business, or that's Harry's business or something. It says, while Harry likes to keep people guessing about his sexuality, refusing to put a label on it, Louis has categorically said he is heterosexual. He was raging when a cartoon featured an HBO show, Euphoria, depicted a sex scene between him and Harry last month. Yeah, I saw that tweet. Louis was not raging. He was basically just saying he didn't approve of it. Louis says, I can categorically say that I was not contacted, nor did I approve it. He raged on Twitter. I mean, y'all didn't hear his tone when he typed that tweet, so keep trying. It says, with a source telling The Sun he was angered that an awkward situation had been made worse. The peak of Larry Stylinson was mainly like 2012 through maybe 2014 or 15. I don't think it was a situation that was made worse. I think it was something that has died down and then it came back up to Louis' attention. It's not like Louis been suffering with this rumor for years and then it was just suddenly made worse. They're acting like Larry Stylinson is some big scandal that's equivalent to like a sexual assault or something. Like, this isn't gonna ruin Louis' life. And then in this part of the article, they go into the drug scandal. And it says, straight-laced Harry, who wasn't even much of a drinker, was apparently furious they'd taken the shine off the start of their UK stadium tour with their stupid and reckless behavior. It says, Harry is annoyed about the whole debacle. This should be one of the biggest weeks of the band's career. Instead, it has been taken over by this controversy. So apparently they're saying that Harry was mad that Zayn and Louis started getting into like drugs, smoking. I don't know how Harry is outside of the public eye or the cameras, but I can't see Harry being angered at his bandmates or Louis. First of all, Harry's not daddy directioner. That's Liam. I can see Liam maybe trying to get the boys back on track and talking to them, but even if Harry's not completely into drugs, I can't see Harry being like angered at them. It says, despite Harry's reputation, he's incredibly professional and mature and not into these sorts of antics. It says it wasn't just Louis and Zayn who were in Harry's bad books. Liam's partying was so out of control that Harry reportedly refused to go socialize with the band unless good guy Niall was there to keep the peace. Good guy Niall. Oh my god, that reminds me when Louis said Niall the church boy. Okay, guys, this article is just so bad and it's almost just hilarious. Like, just the terminology they use and the way they phrase sentences, it's just so weird. Harry refused to socialize with the band because of this. They're acting like Harry's like some pope, you know, like he can't do drugs, he can't be scandalous, he can't go out and do these things, so he's just not gonna talk to his bandmates. Like I said before, even if Harry doesn't do drugs, he's not going to be mad at them or just not be friends with them anymore. Harry is the most chill person. And then they're acting like Niall, who's the good guy, he just tries to keep the peace. There is more to that article. The article was really, really long. I don't even know why they published it. They're just wasting their time with this whole thing because more than 75% of it is just fake. And I'm glad that Louis called them out on their bullshit. He really drew attention to the article. He was basically just saying, don't believe any of this. It's rubbish. So thank you, Louis, for drawing attention to this, because the more we can draw attention to this article and how fake it is, maybe they won't be publishing these articles anymore. Like, there has to be a stop to what can be put out, because it's not the Larry shippers who are ruining Louis and Harry's reputation. It's articles like these. So Louis's not really mad at us. He's mad at them. And I hope they realize that. So if you guys want to read the whole article, I'll try to put a link down below, but I just wanted to read the highlights of it. So anyway, guys, that is all the news for today. It is so hot in here. So again, if I left anything out, just leave it down below and maybe I'll cover it in my next video. But like always, I make a new video whenever I want, so like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Bye.